What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast.
Morning.
Good morning. We're going to be diving deep into Courage is Calling, the section called The Heroic. And go ahead, man. Take it away.
Yeah, man, I was actually, I really enjoyed reading this chapter because it brought back a lot of memories when I was much younger. And I,
Yeah.
as just a brief overview, there are certain times in your life that calls for you to be a hero, and I think it's extremely important to take a hold of that. So I wrote down a very brief story to kind of take you guys with what the experience I felt during this. So what does it mean to be a hero? This was way back when I was a teenager. So I was around 18 years old around this time. I was still a young
Mm,
guy. Um, so at the time I had a group of friends where we each protected each other and um, our loyalty ran deep. Even though that sometimes were the aggressors, we had that camaraderie, that protective layer against anyone in the world, basically.
mhm.
Um, One day, while I was away, I learned one of my friends had raped my girlfriend at the time. It was said that it happened prior to us dating, but deep down to me, it felt like it just had happened. Um, I was filled with rage knowing that. Um, just thinking about how someone I loved was hurt, but at the same time, they were hurt by someone I was actively breaking bread with. And so there was a conflict, resolution of what I should do. I was 18 years old and I'm trying to handle all of this. I even just got my first job. So I'm at work thinking about this
Yeah.
and trying to get over it. Um, but I felt a strong obligation to do something. The lifestyle I once lived back then, there was no relying on the court system or just modern ways of handling things. If you knew me back then you would understand. Um,
Yeah.
so a sit down had taken place with both the victim and the aggressor. Um, Long story short, it was deemed
Hmm.
he needed to fight, and I was the one who was going to fight him. Me being her boyfriend at the time, um, and plus I was the one pressing it. So it just so happened to be that way. So I remember the night of the fight, I had a whole bunch of adrenaline coursing through my veins.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was fighting for someone I loved, for what was right, and at the same time, it was against a good friend that I had up until then. The other members of the group made excuses as to why they couldn't fight. They were scared. They um they were afraid,
Hmm.
and so was I at the time. I knew only one thing though, and that was I was either going to win or I was going to die trying. There was no level of I'm gonna lose this. That never surfaced in my mind. There was no doubts. There was no, oh, what if I lose? There was none of that. It was just I must win or I'm gonna fucking die here. Our fight was a pretty bloody one, man. We had busted lips, black eyes. I had a gash on my skull that had my blood run down my face. In the end, I was pulled off my opponent by um, my other buddies at the time, and he was banished from the group and the area of where we lived in.
Mm.
And at that moment, I wrote history in all of our storybooks, and I knew that. Even going into it, I knew that this was going to be a pinnacle in all of our books, and it's never going to be the same again. Even though I no longer speak to these men, I wish them all well, except for the guy that I had to beat the bricks off of. I wish them all well. But being a hero to me means standing up for the voices who are too afraid to speak, for the people who have gifts and talents, yet are shunned by the demons of the world. It's
Mm,
above yourself. It's about being above yourself. It's what makes a man a father and what makes a woman a mother.
mm,
Maybe your situation isn't as violent. I get that. But when the call comes to be a hero, I encourage you to take it
yeah.
because you will become stronger, more decisive, confident, and secure in your abilities. And most of all, you will become the very leader you know you are. Um, for me, when I just want to add on, when I mean like secure in your abilities, I think it's extremely important for all men to experience a fight, whether that be a street fight or in the ring or in the octagon, because that shows you a lot about yourself and what type of man you truly are. Because a lot of us can say that, oh, I see red when I fight, or I get super angry when I fight, but that's not what competency is. And that's not what I mean by being secure in your abilities. What I mean by it is having this confidence in yourself to walk around the world knowing that if shit hits the fan, everything goes down and everything's against you, what are you gonna do? And for me, that means I'm willing to stand up against any opposition if it means to protect someone else or protect myself.
Mm.
So that was a little story to define what I think heroism is. And it's not always violent, but that is what
Mm.
came up to my mind when I was reading that chapter. It is about standing up for someone else. It's bigger than yourself. It's,
Yeah.
protecting your wife when something dangerous is happening. It's protecting your kids. It's protecting your friend, whether that be
Yeah.
physical or psychological.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Damn, man. Yeah, man. You acted upon there. There was no, as they say in the book, there was no hesitation, right?
No, no.
Yeah.
I was I
And
was I
what's
was
that?
I was scared, but
Yeah, that will
I
call upon you.
but I couldn't show it.
Yeah. Nice, man. You know, there's a point in the book right here where it says the bravery thing is to not fight. So
Hmm.
is that does that um call to temperance, which is discipline? Do you feel?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that, I think that there are many challenges in life that require
Hmm.
different parts of ourselves. And it
Yeah,
doesn't always
exactly.
require being violent or being aggressive.
Physical courage, or on the
Yeah,
other opposite end, which is moral courage, which is diplomacy and all that.
exactly. Exactly. We're in a civilized society.
Hmm.
So a lot of
Yeah,
our confrontations are usually handled diplomatically. And I find it important to learn both ways. So
yeah,
on one hand,
absolutely.
you have the secure in your abilities so that if shit does hit the fan, you know,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
you can rely on yourself. But it also gives you confidence to do the other thing as well, knowing that, hey, okay, well, I know myself, I know I can handle it this way.
Mm.
I'm gonna see if I can handle it a little bit more diplomatically where everybody wins. I'm curious if you have any experiences or if you have a story to share where you had
With
to,
fighting.
yeah, well, fighting or just being diplomatic in your version of being a hero.
Yeah, man. There are many sections in my life. I mean, I'm 32, 32 and a half. So like seen like a third of the world. And
Mhm.
I think it's important to be a warrior always. Um, to always be prepared, or any situation. And as far as fights go, like I've never been in like a bloody ass fight. But I know for sure that if the situation calls for it, I'll be ready. Um, but yeah, I mean the only thing I can think of is like my brother and I. Um, when I saw him going in another direction, I had to handle that one. I saw him going toward like almost the streets a little bit, and I didn't like that, so I just acted, and we fought. But that's about it. Yeah.
I want to add in that I think that's extremely important for young men to have that mentor
Mm.
to guide them because sometimes they don't have that guidance. I know, sure as hell, being, what I know now, looking back, I didn't have any guidance when it came to having to deal with like the streets or just life in general. So
Mm.
my life went a certain way. It wasn't until I removed myself from environments and I exposed myself to different areas of the world that
Yeah.
widened my eyes. And dude, it sounds like you have always been the mentor since you and your brothers were like knee high.
Yeah, since I was like 10, I'd say um, I was always like trained on being a hero. And when there's a part of the book that says the when you don't fight, right? And I feel like I've been on the side of moral courage um, more than physical courage, even though like my brand is physical fitness and being ready and all that, right? Um, I feel like for me, it started in the scouts when I was young at 10 years old. Um, I was always doing more than my peers, always talking to the leaders, like the older people, and just doing the right thing, making people bigger around me all the time, and by leading by example. And every time every chapter in my life, I always had to take a leadership role, like always. And that stems from just wanting to lead for doing the right thing, doing the
Mhm.
thing that calls, because everyone always wants to, if you don't watch over people, they're always going to do the comfortable thing, the thing that's always easy,
Yeah.
which may be to fight. Um, and the harder thing would be how do you do it in a way that's doesn't involve always physical violence, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's where like I was always from being I'll give you examples like 10 years old, I was a senior patrol leader in the scouts, the youngest in the troop. Um, moving on to high school, going into football, I was the team captain, and I was given an award that represented um, what it means to be on the team, like the actual the definition of what this team represents. And and yeah, there's just always it always stemmed from that. That was my foundation, just wanting to do the right thing. Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Where it comes from for me is just being an insecure, low self-esteem kid. Like
Hmm.
I mentioned, I didn't have any guidance. And yeah, I went and I started doing some hoodlum shit. But
Hmm.
even before then, I was very insecure of myself, man. I didn't have any guidance. I was overweight. I didn't like the way that I looked. Um, I had
Yeah.
I had plenty of friends, but I always felt alone. And I remember being in that headspace, just thinking, I just wish that there was someone in my life that were to guide me, were to help me, were to push me, were to pull me in the right direction, and that person never showed up. And
Mm,
so over time, I became that person. And I made it my moral duty to be that person to
yeah,
for other people to look up to help. They can count on me. And
yeah, yeah.
I was just speaking about this to my wife on the cruise ship. Um, I was like 17 margaritas in, and I was just talking. I was like talking about, some life stories, and I was explaining how deep my loyalty goes. That once I'm officially loyal to a cause or to people, I'm
Hmm.
willing to go as far and put myself on the line no matter what. And she asked me, you know, given what you told me,
Mm.
would do you think that those same people would do the same for you? I told her no, no, because I know how much it costs for me to do it. And
Mm.
I'm just that person that has that moral obligation to be loyal, to lead. And I don't expect anybody to do that for me. I
Mm.
think that if somebody does that for me, then it's like icing on the cake. It's extra. It's the
Yeah, yeah,
life. But
yeah,
it originally started from not having anybody there and becoming that person for everybody else.
yeah. Damn, sounds kind of dark, right? Feel like I'm dark too, you know? Like,
Well,
there,
well,
yeah,
life isn't always
it
good,
is all, yeah.
sunshine and rainbows. Um,
This is how it is too, man. I was talking to my wife too, just like there is no, but in the book it says make your own luck. Like
mm,
there is no one is literally coming to save anything. They're not
yeah,
coming to save you. And you gotta like walk around with that, man. And yeah, like back to what you said about just doing, you don't expect others to, that's part of being the hero. There's risk and then there's reward. And the only, the only certainty is that there's no one coming to save you. That's like the only certainty in life.
yeah,
So being the hero is you go against that and you become the certainty, right? In everything you do.
yeah, yeah. And I actually, just to roll back to what you said previously about how it's not always about fighting. And, I learned how to really de-escalate and negotiate and
Yeah.
be very diplomatic when I first got into security. So I
Hmm.
did a lot of work in security, did a lot of work in armed security. A lot of that is de-escalation. You're not having to fight to kick out everybody all the time, even though, yes, you do have to do that.
Yeah,
Um, but it's all just
that's good.
de-escalation. And the second time was through my sales experience, talking to these customers. Maybe they're mad, maybe they're not, maybe they're happy, maybe they're not, maybe it's a sales manager that's pissing me off or whatever. I have
Yeah.
to maneuver myself in a way where everybody wins
Yeah.
and not, you can't be confrontational in sales. You can't because you'll just lose.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite of that part.
Yeah, I mean, so dude, sometimes you're just smiling while somebody's just talking and talking and
Yeah, it's an emotional like it's just in daily life. Like the normal thing is for somebody to argue all the time. It's weird, you know. It's just like a people aren't trained on virtues, living a virtuous life and the behaviors that require being living in a virtuous life, you know. It's
and
difficult.
I think a lot of that comes from just them living a comfortable life and not wanting to
Go on
take
their edge.
take any more responsibilities
Yeah.
than what they have to, which honestly, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
How could you? Because it's fucking hard.
It's
No,
always hard.
no one says, hey, being a leader is going to be easy. That just doesn't exist. That's why a lot of people are not leaders. Matter of fact, at my work, so as you know, right now I'm a manager for a Pizza Hut restaurant, and it's a franchise. So I get sent to different Pizza Huts. And what I've found out is that, you know, the franchise is pushing management to promote more people into management. Yet most of the workers there do not want to be management. They do not want the responsibility.
Yeah, automatic. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I'm the manager, right? And then I have the GM above me. And
yeah,
there's at least 20 or 30 employees that all have opportunities, especially the very bright ones and very talented ones. And even they're saying that they don't want the responsibility. So it's not that they can't, because I've seen it. I've witnessed like greatness happen in front
yeah.
of me, but they just do not want that responsibility. And I think a lot of that comes from comfort because once you tackle on the responsibility, it's not like you can give it back.
You can't like your reputation's on the line.
You're
Yeah.
known as that guy. And
Now, yeah,
if you let people down, if you say that you are the reliable guy and then you're the most unreliable guy, then you just end up looking like a hypocrite.
yeah. It's man, yeah. And now it's just like wake up. It's time.
Yeah.
Wake up. It's time. I don't care. Like what's how much sleep you got. Like did you hit your macros today? You know. Um. Now it's time. I was walking through a museum like all week. Currently in Mexico
Nice.
City right now, and there's so many museums that I've visited. And I was like, why do people make statues of people? Or like, why is there a statue of a lion all the time? Or like an
Yeah.
eagle capturing a snake? Or like, why does everyone go to the lion in a zoo?
Yeah.
Why, like why are they, it's like these symbols, these symbolic ideals that people want
Oh, yeah.
that's bigger than them.
So like a lot of these symbols that you're mentioning show bravery, they show
Yeah, all the virtues, right?
courage.
Literally.
Yeah, justice. You guys can't see it, but this little blurry blob is a lion.
Yeah,
I have that to remind myself to always be brave.
yeah,
Plus, it looks cool.
yeah, always. Yeah.
But yeah, you hit a really, really good point. So, um, one of my hobbies that I like to do when I have free time is I like to play some video games, right? But I don't like to play. Um, I like to play strategy games. Some
Yeah,
things
same, yeah.
that'll have to make me think.
And challenge.
So I've been playing Civilization. It's a war strategy game where you make your entire cities and you're battling against other civilizations to win. And so starting that, I've been watching a lot of
Oh,
World War One, World War Two videos.
oh man, good. Yeah.
Um, and just to wrap it to the actual book, the book actually goes over when the Persians was
Oh
moving
shit.
over to
Yeah.
Greece and the huge battle that we all know from the movie 300.
Thermopylae. Yeah.
Hmm. And there was one general who motivated and inspired his men. 300 men versus thousands of Persians.
10,000 immortals. That's what they call them. Yeah.
10,000 immortals. Now you got to think that all of these men, 300 of them, had families, had
Yeah.
sons,
Their fathers.
had
Yeah.
had things to lose, but they were fighting for something. Versus the Persians, they were just fighting to take over. They weren't necessarily fighting for something as much as these guys. So to them, they're like, listen, I want to get back home, but at the same time, I also know that it's probably not possible. So I'm going to stand the line and protect them. I'm going to put this barrier between the danger and my family. the
Yeah.
danger in my society. Um, watching a lot of World War One, a lot of it was like that. I mean, you have Great Britain at the time had one of the greatest navies in the world that
Hmm.
actually prevented Germany from exiting. I don't know the actual name. It's the Gulf in
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
Germany and Great Britain. But basically, in the middle of World War One, Germany was trying to exit past Great Britain. Um, I I think it was for supplies or something like that, and
Hmm.
they had a huge navy battle between Germany and Great Britain. And Great Britain, I think at the time, didn't have as many ships around that area, but luckily won. And Germany never sent another ship out there again, which pretty much sealed the deal for World War One because now they were encapsulated with the Allies and the Central Powers. Central Powers were losing men because now they were getting attacked by, like Hungary was getting attacked by Italy, while at the same time, Russia was part of the Allies attacking Germany, and Germany was attacking France, and Great Britain was attacking Germany. And, you know, I just thought that all of these countries at war were fighting for something. For
Hmm.
Germany, it seemed like they wanted more land. They were very expansive. They were very hungry for expansion in World War One. Once the US got involved, Russia got kicked out of the war. I think they lost they lost a battle to one of the countries, and so they just removed themselves from the war. Um, Italy tried to gain more land in Hungarian no in Austria, but they lost three times, and they never got that land. They just they just lost and they got removed from the war as well. And then Germany got pushed back once um, the line of France was reinforced by Great Britain and the United States and pushed Germany all the way back. And
Mm.
that was the start of, or the first reveal of Poland and all of those countries, because at the time it was just one big Germany. And so they got pushed back. It's actually super cool, but also kind of a lot of people think that World War One was its own entity from World War Two, but World War One was actually the precursor to World War Two in the regard that World War Two, um, that the World War never really stopped. It was just paused.
Hmm.
Because what ended up happening in World War Two is that with the Great Depression, all these countries were, um, falling economically. That the consensus that Germany had to sign, where they had to keep only less than 100,000 military troops. They couldn't have a navy. They couldn't have an air force. They pretty much said, yeah, fuck all of that. We're gonna start, making our troops because all of you guys can't do anything about it, given the economic stance. And they started building planes. They started building their navy again. Great
Yeah.
Britain saw this. The US saw this. Um, we're sending messages over, telling them, hey, stop doing that. Well, otherwise, we're going to do something. And Germany called our bluff. And they were right because we didn't have enough resources to take care of anything internationally or anything outside of home country. Um, and then the president at the time of Germany died, and that's how Hitler came into power because he basically was at the right place at the right time. And the reason
Yeah.
why I'm sharing this is because in Germany around that time, Hitler was seen as a hero because of the oppression that Germany was feeling through World War One. And so the point of World War II was Hitler was the icon to the German people, to say that we are the strongest superpower. How dare does the world say that we are less? And so there was a lot of animosity with those world wars. And after the president died, um, Hitler just took the reins, and the rest is history.
And twisted it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that's very good, man. And you dove deep into that one.
Yeah, dude, I
You
don't know
taught
where.
me a lot of things.
As I get older with age, I'm starting to want
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah. Man, history is like, there's a lot of like references in the book too for all these heroic people. And what calls to mind was like Stoicism wasn't even created yet when when the Hot Gates Thermopylae was around, when that
Yeah,
300 Spartans fought the Persians. So Stoicism like they were inspired by the Spartans and the Greeks, which is interesting. Yeah, it came later, a lot later. Like, yeah,
yeah. I think in the book it even says that Churchill said that what's old. I'm gonna butcher this so bad, but it says he said what's owed by so few
is
in
owed.
is
Yeah,
owed by yeah, it was during one of one of his war battles,
yeah,
but it all comes back down to the warfare of the 300 because
yeah, pretty much.
I mean the odds were just terrible. Everyone knew it. Like that was the
Yeah,
worst kind of odds. The only thing they had going for themselves was that the canal was narrow. So you had
yeah,
10,000 troops versus
exactly.
300 troops, yet you have this small canal. And
Mhm.
that ultimately is what helped them a lot in that war.
That was the strategy,
Yeah, yeah,
I
you got to
guess.
use what
Yeah,
you have sometimes, man.
damn. And they were talking about valor. Every man in there had valor. Like literally, everyone had a deep rooted cause inside them to literally defend and make a statement, a one-way trip statement.
One-way
It's just
trips.
like crazy, man. The root word or the megala, you know that word that was talked about, megalopsychia in the
Okay.
beginning, which is like being above courage, like it's just being like an ultimate hero. Like you could see a lot of historical figures right now that represented megalopsychia. It's it's what the Stoics call greatness of soul.
Mm,
I feel that like me, like when I was young, right, at 14 to 18, like I was always trying to be that because like student athlete, student always learning, athlete learning how to be stronger and take care of yourself, you know, physically.
yeah,
And I think all men need to be that. They need to strive for that, you know.
I agree.
You got to. Um, yeah.
So I want to bring everyone else along. I'm going to read the first page of the heroic, and this will give you a perfect overview of the entire chapter. But it starts off in the world's broad field of battle, in the biv
Bivouac.
bivouac of life. Be not like dumb, driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. If courage and moral and physical is the act of putting your ass on the line, then the definition of the heroic is very simple. It is risking oneself for someone else. It's putting it on the line, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of someone, something, some larger
Yeah.
cause. Is this not one of the greatest expressions of the human species? In those situations where real danger lurks, where hope has disappeared, nobody cries for a manager. Nobody cries for the calculated reason of the logician. They cry for action, for a hero, for someone to save them, to step up and do what we cannot do ourselves.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and in answering this call, the hero enters, however briefly, a higher plane. They touch the face of the gods.
Psychopsychia.
The Stoic called the Stoic called it greatness of the soul. Courage plus we might call it. Um, yeah, how do you say that guy's name, bro?
De
De,
Gaulle.
De
Yeah.
Gaulle. De
Yeah.
Gaulle was once asked what he meant when he spoke of France's grandeur. He answered, "The road one takes to surpass oneself." This this is the bravery that we hold up above the others because it is so rare, so much
Mhm.
more profound, something we see only fleeting. To get there, we must triumph over fear. We must cultivate courage in daily life, and we must be ready to seize the opportunities life presents us, however big or small. Our need for heroes is great. Will you be one?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and that reminded me of Napoleon. Uh, so that's the next part of history I'm starting to get into is Napoleon's wars. But how Napoleon was one of the greatest war generals in the entire world, especially during his era. Um, his downfall was a heroic gesture because he was fighting against Russia at the time. And so he sent troops to Moscow, the capital, and he took it over. He took over Moscow. But Russia can be very stubborn. And so Napoleon was hoping that that Russia would fall back and he would get reinforcements to completely take over Moscow as far as like for years to come because he already had control of the entire city. Um, but winter came. His troops were not ready for that. They stayed there and they realized that the resources were thinning and Russia was not backing down. And ultimately, he had to retreat his troops back to France, which eventually led to the capture of Paris. And because of that,
Mm.
Napoleon got kicked and got fired, so to speak, in our terms. But I just want to bring out that there are so many great generals, great men and women in the world who show heroism for everyone else. And it's in that one person that changes history forever. And if we think, how does one become a hero? Because we all say that, hey, look, it's all bravery and courage, and you have to be a leader. But a lot of that really comes down to how much are you willing to be politically judged? And even though we're not politicians, people have their opinions. And I think that's what holds a lot of people back from being great. Rolling back to that one lady way back in the courage section, how her family held her back.
Yeah. Florence Nightingale. Yeah.
Florence Nightingale. She cared more about their opinions than what she actually wanted to do. And it wasn't until 30 or 40 years later where she decided that she was going to work in the hospitals and help out the people in the war who are injured. At the time, women were seen as housewives and supposed to just stay at home, take care of babies. But she wanted to actually help in hospitals. And so her family would call her a slut and call her a whore and call her this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But once she decided for herself and gained a healthy secureness of being unliked or not caring about other people's opinions, we now have the Red Cross.
Nursing. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it really comes down to not allowing other people's opinions to hold you back, which,
Yeah. Wow.
man, that's a battle in of itself, man.
It's always the battle. For myself as an online fitness coach, I deal with that tremendously. Um, with all this cancel culture and like, saying too much harsh stuff.
Mm,
And I've been learning recently that there's a way to say things without, because there's guys out there like who, there's a lot in the online community for fitness.
Mm,
It's like I have to be now the personal brand that I am, becoming. I have to be the example now. So now it's like everything I say, it's like a Florence Nightingale situation. It's like I don't even know if I'm saying the right things sometimes or if I'm saying it the right way.
yeah.
And I constantly fall into that battle like all the time when I'm marketing. And I've been doing this for so long, actually, for like
I'm gonna
six.
let me challenge you real quick because I wanna understand this. So you are a great marketer. Now, when you say that you had difficulty with the
Mm,
Nightingale aspect, are you thinking, am I saying this right to come off correct? Or are you thinking, am I saying this right with the predisposition of marketing? Meaning, people are finical.
yeah,
People are going to like you and dislike you in like 2 seconds.
yeah.
And they don't give a shit. So are you thinking of it like, I want them to see me a certain way? Or are you thinking of it as, how can I get a reaction out of this person in a good way?
As a mix.
Kind of a mix. So I'm more,
Hmm.
I drifted and pushed more towards the marketing side. And I found
Hmm.
out, because I used to be very, very vulgar in
Same.
a lot of my fitness content back in the day. I mean, I was running like 10, 15, 20 miles, working out twice a day, biking 6 miles a day. And so to me, my standards were so high. So when I saw anybody else that had lower standards or just were lazy or just didn't want to do
Mm,
good things, I called them out. I was known as that guy. And it worked out for me because I had
yeah.
many people reach out to me and say that I inspired them. And so
Yeah.
it's like, even though, yeah, there are ways of saying things, but when it comes to marketing, it doesn't matter what reaction you get, positive or negative, because it's both a reaction. Because attention is a currency. If you hold it, regardless of it's positive or negative, you have money in your pocket that you can use and spend on something else.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been really honing in on that. It doesn't mean be vulgar, but be you. Be what's
Hmm.
truly you. If you're more of a David Goggins type of guy, then that's you, man. Because people are going
Yeah.
to love and hate you,
Yeah. Always.
But it also depends on what is your vision. Like
Yeah.
how do you see your future when helping these people?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, man.
This is
Yeah.
episode 10, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I think we've been getting really, really good progress with each of these podcast episodes. Um, One thing I've been working on as we're going through this is like storytelling, sharing stories, be more relatable as far as like being raw with my life because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to show that I'm like this, super special person or anything like that. Um,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest with you, man, like past couple months, I was dealing with a whole bunch of life crap that I had to contend with, you know?
Yeah.
But now it feels like I'm in like this upward spiral. Things are going my way.
That's good.
That comes with work and progress, um, and fitness. Man, I don't know what it was, but a light switched as soon as I came back from the cruise, a light just switched. I just started seeing like macros everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
that Cheez-It box is like 1,100 calories for the entire thing. I'm staring at it right now. Like 2 grams.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I used to be insanely like that. And it feels good to be what I know is normal for myself, whether that be super intense for someone else. And I think that to anybody for any lifestyle, there's always going to be a range of super intense and not super intense. Um, but that's not my job to care about. My job is to make sure that I'm living the life that I see is beneficial for me and my family and to share that with many people
Yeah.
because to like a really philosophical standpoint, we're all one person living the same life. And so if we take it on that aspect, if we all have the same emotions and same feelings, then me showing a regular day-to-day life is going to show someone else saying that, oh, maybe I'm doing this thing right. I showed on my story just recently, I'm cooking rice and chicken on the stove, and that's one of my meal preps. Someone may see that and be like, oh, wait, I can just do that. Like it's just that easy. You kidding me? I don't have to
Yeah.
get a whole bunch of stuff. Like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's not pretty. It's not like it's gonna look great, but um it's what's the word? It's fuck, I'm blanking. It's what needs to be done at that time, you know, for my macro.
Yeah. Yeah. And over here, as I'm traveling right now, like, I'm still just tracking everything. I got my food scale. Um, Even if I'm going out, I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah,
know exactly what to do. And that's my mission is to teach people that you don't like this is the lifestyle. That's it. Like for people that want to be whatever my brand is.
yeah,
Um, it's just is now part of that's the hero in me is like I just live this life. I don't fucking deviate from it. I don't care. Sometimes it gets too intense that like but that's where I am. Like I don't fucking care. You know, like this is how I live my life. I track my food. I'm always this, I'm that. You know, I know where to go. I know what to do. I know what to get. Like for example, breakfast. It's always here. Like I
mhm,
make sure if I'm traveling, I get I get a place with a kitchen, so I don't have to wander off all the time and go off into random breakfast spots that are just like random. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. I never thought about getting a kitchen like
Yeah.
I'll,
Always get a kitchen when you're traveling, man.
I'll start thinking about that more often. I get a
Yeah.
microwave and that's all I get. Microwave and some tiny little
Yeah.
pot.
What is it called? A suite? I think it's called a suite. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, all those things you enjoy, like you mentioned, it's a lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
Most important thing is that it's a lifestyle. For my
Yeah.
brand, I love motorcycles. Matter of fact, I just bought my
Oh
motorcycle,
shit. Congrats. You
a
got it.
Harley
Nice.
Davidson Y Glide 2010. It's all black, comes with
So
bag,
you got it.
has a sissy bar. I bought it from Tennessee. It's actually getting shipped over to Arizona. Um, but my lifestyle really evolves around working out, being healthy, being fit, getting strong, but also riding my motorcycle, going and exploring different places, different caves, different mountains, showing people the parts of life that you don't really see when you're just in the city. Because I'm
Nice.
very um I'm Christopher Columbus on the good thing. On the
You're
good
exploring. Yeah. You're exploring.
exactly, exactly. And you know, I'll even say this, Mike. I'm very explory type of person. My wife isn't. And so when we went to the Bahamas, I had the opportunity to guide her through a different path. So we had the touristy side, and I'm like, let's go a little bit further. So we exited down the touristy side, and we entered like this like abandoned like it's like a abandoned hut places. It was
Yeah.
super cool to see, but it was super cool because of the history of what happened. And it was abandoned because of the hurricanes. So at the
Hmm.
Bahamas, there's hurricane season starting on June 1st. And so when these would come, it would just wipe away everything. So by guiding and showing her all these places, she would have never saw these places because that's
Yeah.
just not how she's wired. She
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't go, exploring like that. But we found our shell. Actually, hold on, I'll show you my shell. Look at this.
A conch found. That's the shell that you found.
Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Even has a little boo-boo right there. Yeah. Found
Damn.
this. And I think sometimes like, it's good to explore. And I
When you
want
travel, yeah, you take something.
Yeah, I want to show people,
Yeah.
look, don't be afraid. Go out there and see the world, see some stuff, even in your own state. There's a lot of good stuff to see. You'll find cool stuff like this. Maybe not in
Yeah.
Arizona, but like, you'll
That's
have
dope, dude.
memories, things to look back
Yeah.
on here.
Experiences. Yeah. Take something.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my brand. That's what I'm building is that um, I'm going to be making these videos of writing to these places and having like a cinematic show with each reel um, once the bike gets here, along with motorcycle mechanics. It's another part. I enjoy taking things apart and putting things back together. And if I can show that to somebody, I know that I'm interested in it. I know for sure that someone else is going to be interested in it. Like
Yeah.
how many times do you see someone take apart a motorcycle? Probably not often, unless like you're a motorcycle mechanic. But for other people, it might be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I show the meal prep that I'm doing. Um, the next part is probably being consistent with my reels. And instead of posting everything on my story, I'm gonna move it back down to my page to where people can click on it and watch it as many times as they want.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, man.
It's
So,
all working. Slowly,
yeah.
it's slowly, but it's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, next week, man, what are we doing?
So next week we're gonna be finishing up a section of heroism, of the heroic.
Right.
And man, that'll be the end of this book, actually. It's,
Yeah.
it's the last 50 pages, 50 or so pages.
Hmm.
I think we can give like a full review, a brief review once we finish that. Um,
Yeah.
whether we recommend this book to someone or not, what kind of person would benefit from this book.
Yeah.
Um, but what's the next book, my friend?
Oh man. I don't know, bro. What calls to mind? What comes to mind?
What calls to mind?
Yeah.
Uh, well, you mentioned that justice was something that you wanted to read.
Yeah.
Is that still something you want to read, or do you want to?
Yeah. Justice would be good. Yeah. The
Okay.
next series.
All right. Then Justice is going to be the next one. Um, honestly, I have no idea what it's about other than obviously justice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're gonna find out a little bit more next week. But
Yeah.
dude, I like the view you got behind you. It's a nice view.
Yeah, man. The city.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you're in Mexico City right now. How long are you gonna stay?
Yeah. Uh, Next 2 days left. Yeah, it's been a week though so far.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah,
Right on. Yeah, we stayed
yeah,
at the Bahamas just for the day, but we were on a cruise ship for like a week.
nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. If anybody has never been on a cruise ship, I highly recommend it, man. I'm telling you, like it was sunshine, you get a good tan, and you got the pool, you get 17 margaritas a day. I mean, you're just relaxing out there, bro.
Damn. Yeah, that's fun. That's definitely in the books for sure. Yeah,
And Bahamas is really cool too. Prior to going there, I always thought that it was like a fantasy type of land, you know. Everyone talks about the Bahamas and how great it is,
yeah,
you know, and
yeah,
then
they do.
after being there, it's like, damn, dude, it's legit. It's legit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we
yeah. It's good to travel, man. That's your brand when you go out there and just like nothing's expected until you hit it. Once you hit the new area,
mhm.
your memories start to form, and then you're just like, wow, I didn't expect it. It's just like probably expands it, adds more like motor neurons to your brain or like those
Yeah.
axioms connecting. You're just like, what? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, man. Oh, it also it helps you reset
Perspective.
yourself.
Yeah,
Resets your perspective on everything. Like it gets you out of your mind. You know, if you're working all the time and you're putting in the hours, keep doing that. Keep doing that. But
yeah,
give yourself the time to go somewhere and just completely relax. Completely relax. It doesn't,
yeah. Reset the button, dude.
yeah, it doesn't mean like, you know, be undisciplined or anything like that. You know, if you need to get your workouts and get your workouts in, I worked out on the cruise ship.
Yeah,
Completely relax. Don't worry about anything. And then when you come back, you're going to have a really great mindset to go about things, very clear
yeah.
perspective. That's what I've
Perspective.
experienced. Yeah, I felt really natural, just like being myself, because that's all I was at the cruise ship. You know, I wasn't like trying super hard to be something like a leader or trying super hard to be a manager. It was just like I already am those things.
Yeah,
I just gotta let it be, and
yeah,
it clears up a lot of gunk.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Damn, man. Okay. I want to see the more of your brand forming.
Hey, you too, man.
Let's
You
get
too.
it,
I want
man.
to see, I want to see
Yeah.
more reels from you. More, dude. You know who's been really good? I've been watching is Malibu. Yeah, even though he had his
Oh
whole
yeah, yeah. He has
control.
his little thing.
Yeah, his little
God
spill,
damn
little
it.
hiccup right there. Um,
Jesus.
but a lot of his content is pretty good, man. Like I think you can make a lot of that as well. It's
Yeah.
short. It's
Pretty positive dude, you know? Yeah.
yeah, man. I
Very
like the
positive
guy.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
kind of like him, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that is episode 10 of the Geared Accountability
Yeah,
podcast.
man. Yeah. And when we go into the next one next week, yeah, I'm just gonna my goal is like just to pull from all the experiences and really hone in on what did I learn from that, the failures, the successes, and yeah, a lot of them I already actually expressed in when I turned 30, like 2 years ago, and I was just like recollecting the decade,
Mm.
and I wrote it on my reels. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So with um this direction of the podcast, man,
Hmm.
what do you think that we can do to make things stronger? Because I think, and this is like behind the scenes for all the people listening.
I know. BTS
But,
right here.
we bridge the gap through fitness and
Yeah, that's
health.
how we. Yeah,
So I brainstorm ways of how that can be strengthened because we have that bridge and then we have our individual like brands. With health and fitness, I'm really big in bodybuilding. I love bodybuilding. I work out at the gym doing bodybuilding workouts. I eat bodybuilding macros. Um, that's who I am, bodybuilder type of guy. And from you and seeing some of the stuff that you have from the athletics,
Yeah.
I even add some of that into my workouts.
Yeah.
I've been feeling way more functional. I can
Yeah.
I can use 95% of all the muscle I have. So, it's a give or take, but like from your side being athletic, what are you?
Athletically,
Oh,
is that
what
what
are
you
you?
mean?
What's your brand?
My brand. Yeah, my brand is well,
Share it to the people. Tell them what Alec Murillo is.
yeah, man, I help help very busy people, very busy men who are stuck. They're very they're very ambitious, but they're just stuck in and they don't have a system in place. So I basically plug the system in and yeah, get you lean, strong, healthy, endurance, hybrid athlete. Yeah.
Have you gotten any clients?
Mm-mm.
No. So if anybody's looking for any fitness coaching, definitely hit up Alec Murillo. He's going to help you with meal preps, getting lean, getting stronger, being more athletic, and all the while being a stronger leader. I'm
Yeah.
currently right now helping out a couple of my buddies who reached out and asked about, certain macros and workout plans. So I'm helping them out. If you guys want to learn more on the bodybuilding side, feel free to message me. I'll shoot you back with
Yep.
whatever, workout tips, whatever you guys need. I'm happy to help.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So um yeah, man. I'll see you next week. And um Heroism Part 2, bro. Pretty much.
Heroism Part 2. Thank you guys for watching episode 10 of the podcast, Geared Accountability Podcast. New episodes come out every Monday at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. And enjoy your time in Mexico City, brother.
Thank you, brother.
All
Glad you
right.
guys are fun in Bahamas.
It was the life, man. All right, guys. Peace.
All right. Peace.